Magna Carta came into existence in 1215 and was about freedom and the right to justice. And the outcomes can be quite catastrophic when the Magna Carta isn't being adhered to. And this is the most important clause in the Magna Carta, so no free man shall be seized or imprisoned. But right at the end there, I think that's the most important phrase, by the law of the land. Land being the geographical part of the jurisdiction, which is one of the main components of what constitutes a nation. But I'll expand upon that in part 2, where the potential impact on Australians is discussed. Introducing the Terra Carta. Now, it's not being kept secret. They are publicly putting out information on it, but not on mainstream media, not on your 6 o'clock news. So most people I speak to haven't heard of it. And this 18-page document has a lot of phrases and words that all sound very good, restoration, nature, but there's always 1 or 2 lines that the real meat of what's going on. At the start of dot point 5, I'll just bring your attention to that it says reinvigorating successful historical approaches. Historical approaches, I suspect, subliminally referring to is the other Carta, the Magna Carta. So they're simply dressing up public land forfeiture from debt default as debt for nature swap. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it? And these public-private partnerships, they're very sinister. They're more about giving a corporate entity the same rights as a citizen, and that's more in relation to the use of the land. Again, I'll expand that in part 2. BlackRock is one of those private companies, corporations who want to be part of this public-private partnership. So why is this all being driven by Prince Charles, now King Charles, and not these corporate overlords like Larry Fink? They have so much power. They've got a lot of influence. In fact, they're the ones that can direct money. You would think they would be the ones that were leading it, the head of. These international criminals might be able to seize some government assets during debt default, but they can't seize the land. I'll go into that in part 2. The King's seal was required to enact the Magna Carta. So therefore, to subvert the Magna Carta, the Terra Carta would also have to have a seal. Well, does it? Not only does it have a seal, the current King's crown is part of that seal. Part 2 is a dive into the Magna Carta, the Constitution, and how it's going to impact on Australians if this thing goes ahead. Isn't it interesting that this is how big a deal the Magna Carta was, and should still be, to Australia? We've got one of only 4 copies in existence from a 1297 edition. Now, I've put a PDF copy of this video, all the screenshots, and you can get all the links to everything that I've referenced, but I'll actually put a separate link for this page because it's a very good article on the Terra Carta. And this is the sort of thing that these corporations suddenly now have all become green and want to enter into public-private partnerships with nations. This is what they get up to. This was from BBC 7 years ago. I don't think they've done a follow-up. The link to this story, if you go to the link that I'll put up, you'll find it. And here's another story as well. Now, even if King Charles supplants the Magna Carta with the Terra Carta over in Britain, our Constitution in 1900 was done with the Magna Carta. So they've got to fiddle with our Constitution to move us under it. And that's what I'll be going into. All right, that's it for this one.